This is South Georgia's #1 news source, News Center 10.
I was in that part of the salon, and she said it looked like a bomb had exploded. And she couldn't, said it happened so fast she didn't know what was going on. But she thought it was a bomb exploded, you know.
A truck plows through a busy South Georgia hair salon, killing 2 people and injuring a third.
The woman behind the wheel of the truck is charged with vehicular homicide. Good evening, I'm Dawn Hobby.
And I'm Joe Coffey. A pickup truck slams into a Douglas beauty salon as more than a dozen customers look on in horror.
Suddenly, the safety of a beauty shop is shattered by a drunk driver. The truck ran completely through the Magic Scissors hair salon. Popular Douglas businessman James Vickers and hairstylist Brenda Smith were killed. The 24-year-old driver of the truck, Angela Adams, is in jail, charged with 2 counts of vehicular homicide. We get the story from News Center 10's Michelle Bowden.
A single working station stands untouched, surrounded by the shattered remains of a once thriving family business. The caved-in roof and overturned chairs are not simply a cruel act of nature. This is what's left after a drunk driver careened out of control.
There were about 15 people in the shop at the time, and the store owner says the truck jumped the highway, entered the building at about this point, literally went through the entire building coming out on this end. The truck finally came to a stop when another car parked outside the building finally put an end to its path of destruction.
So when I got to the scene, Brenda and the guy that she was cutting the hair was laying on the cement. It put them out, hauled them all the way through the building.
Witnesses say hairstylist Brenda Smith and her customer high school basketball coach James Vickers didn't even know what hit them. Sadly, friends say Smith should have been on her way home to see her new grandchild.
This other lady is the one that usually cuts this man's hair, but she was booked up, and she had asked this girl about cutting this man's hair. That's what they were seeing out there. So she did.
Friends say that's just the type of woman Brenda Smith was.
She's a loving person. If you ever need Brenda, you'd love her. I mean, she's just happy-go-lucky all the time.
Relatives of the woman driving the truck say she too has suffered a loss. She faces DUI charges and vehicular homicide.
She's still in shock bad.
She
didn't
very
know
upset.
she had killed 2 people until a few minutes ago.
She's very much upset about it. She don't understand how something like this has happened.
But that's little solace for the victims' families and for the salon owner left to sweep away the broken shards of glass amid the rubble of his building. Michelle Bowden, News Center 10, Douglas.
The driver of the truck, Angela Adams, was taken to the hospital for minor injuries. She is now in jail. Trudy Nettles of Ambrosia was also hurt in that crash.
Attorneys for accused killer Calvin Sessions want his murder charges separated. Sessions is charged with gunning down 2 people near the Albany post office in 1995 and is facing a death penalty trial. Today, attorney Phil Cannon asked a judge to try the 2 murders separately because trying them together would risk prejudicing the jury. In January of '95, Calvin Sessions ambushed his ex-girlfriend, Donetta Drake, outside the South Slappy post office in Albany. She was shot in the head and killed. Sessions then ran next door to the Hardee's parking lot, shot and killed Dougherty County employee Harvey Farrell, and stole Farrell's truck.
Incidents that occurred at the post office will impact a jury on its decision in deciding the issue that happened at Hardee. And we think they are 2 separate facts, although they may be one scheme.
That was the defendant's argument. However, I don't think it will prevail based on the law, the applicable law in this instance.
Which would be that
events that occur together, common schemes and plans, can be tried together in the judge's discretion.
Superior Court Judge Lauren Gray will have a decision on the motion in the next few days. Sessions will stand trial in December. Early County Sheriff's officials still have not identified the body of a man recovered from the Chattahoochee River Wednesday night near the Georgia Pacific docks in Early County. Investigator Randy Meek says autopsy reports show that the man drowned. Since the report of the unidentified man was aired yesterday, the Sheriff's Department says they've received 5 different leads. All 5 leads came into the Sheriff's office this morning. They were from both Alabama and Georgia, and so far 3 of them have not matched. Investigators are still checking out 2 other leads, one from Alabama and the other from Georgia. The body is described as a white male, 25 to 35 years old, 6 foot 3 inches and 200 pounds with brown hair. If you have any information, call the Early County Sheriff's Department at 913-723-3577. 45 illegal immigrants are expected to be sent back to their native countries. They were taken into custody after a raid in Colquitt County this week. The Department of Immigration and Naturalization says 42 suspected illegal aliens were detained during a surprise visit at Destiny Industries. 2 other illegal workers were also found at International Poultry Breeders in Norman Park. An INS spokesman says tips from the community led the agency to the illegal aliens in the Colquitt County area. In addition to Colquitt County, 8 employees of a Seminole County meatpacking plant were also detained on Wednesday. All of the immigrants taken into custody will now appear before an immigration judge in Thomasville, who will then determine if they will be deported.